Hello. Well, I decided to go live with this talk about auras, and as Kathy pointed out to me, I've done many a talk about auras and demonstrated them, of course, and in public. Anyway, this is just one of a series of workshops that are actually included in the book, the Spiritualist Handbook, just by the by. Now, it's common knowledge that every living thing is a bundle of energy. And although each sentient being exists as a self-contained unit, we know that some of this energy radiates to a greater or lesser extent as a sort of outer casing. And this energy field we call an aura. All of creation in the physical world has this aura, even inanimate objects. And in this age of quantum physics, we understand that our universe and everything in it is comprised of subatomic particles, all energetically vibrating away, albeit on different frequencies. Although the aura is of the material world, there appears to be a co-relationship between higher consciousness and the power of reason to the size and complexity of the auric energy field. Now, these two attributes are also consciously connected to the spirit realms and the great creator, and is therefore an attachment between the physical aura and the dimensional manifestation of the individual spirit within the material body. Nevertheless, aura reading is to do primarily with the here and now, and functioning energy centres on the physical level. It does require a goodly dollop of psychic skill, which I maintain can be developed in anyone who has that determination. Auras can be seen objectively as a myriad of colours across the spectrum by a special system of photography with a Kirlian camera, but can also be seen with the naked eye by certain psychic individuals. It can also be seen clairvoyantly by others who are spiritually adept. Why do we want to see auras? Well, like the mountaineer's answers to why do you want to climb a mountain, it's because they're there, we would reply, because they're there. Here we'll concentrate on the psychic aspect of viewing auras, with an acknowledgement to the spiritual and spirit connection therein. So how do we get to see auras for ourselves? There are many exercises that you can undertake. Regular practice is essential. So if at first you don't succeed in seeing much in the way of auric emanations around your chosen subjects, don't give up, but keep on keeping on, as White Eagle would say. I'm sure you'll get there. So before you begin your practice, make your affirmation that everything I do only for good in truth, light and love. That's important. It doesn't do you any harm either to ask for some spirit help and protection, although as a professed worker for the light, your guides and helpers will be around anyway. Auras are more perceivable with your unfocused peripheral outer field vision. A relaxed approach is therefore crucial. Also, because of the sensitive frequency of the auric colours, a low lamp light or steady candle light is best. A short meditation is a beneficial preliminary to the work. So, here we go with the exercises. Exercise 1. On a square of black cloth, you place your hands palm down with your index finger and thumb tips of one hand touching the index finger and thumb tips of the other. You then slowly pull your hands apart, and you should be able to see lines of energy still connecting your fingertips together, the aura of your fingers, your hand. Now, exercise 2. You need somebody to help with this one. Hang a dark, preferably black sheet or piece of curtain-sized fabric on the wall behind a dining chair, say, with another chair for you facing it about 6 to 8 feet away. Get a friend to sit on that other chair. You relax, close your eyes, make your affirmation. Open your eyes slightly. Bend your head back and look at your friend down your nose. Don't try to see anything, as that will focus your eyes. Look past and around that person's body in the chair opposite. Now, you will see an aura. You will see energy. You will. Just keep trying. Now, these exercises should be enough to get you started. Keep a note of every session and the results, of course, and this will help you to monitor your own progress. Of course, after you've seen the auras around everything, you'll begin to see auras about all sorts of things. You'll have to learn to read the colours and the configurations in them, and then you'll be able to give people actual readings about themselves. The fact is, you see, that our auras change all the time because that's our life, and every living thing has an aura. It's an electromagnetic field of energy around our bodies, and as I've mentioned, it can be photographed with a special camera, and if you're clairvoyant you can pick them up. But what I'm talking about is actually being able to see something. So I think sometimes mental mediumship, which is what we call clairvoyance, is sometimes not as good perhaps as being able to manifest something physically. And I think when you see auras around things, it will give you that added oomph of being absolutely certain that you're on the right pathway. But I used to think that everybody saw auras, and I used to exclaim about the wonderful auras, that the colours around trees in the spring, for instance, and nobody else that I was talking to could see them and thought I was balmy. But when I've talked to people, they have also had the pleasure of seeing auras around trees in the spring. So I hope that you've enjoyed our chat. If anybody wants to ask me anything about this, of course, do ask, because I can see comments that come up. Jane is saying hi, so obviously I can actually answer any questions you have about auras if you'd like to ask, although it's a bit late at night, I suppose. It's just that I was going to do another one of those videos that I did on the psychic self-defense, and as I say, I had a word with Kathy, and she said, well, why don't you just do a live one, because you've given enough live demonstrations and talks on auras. So here I am chatting to you about it. Of course, perhaps it's not quite the same when you've got a whole classroom full of people or a hall full of people asking you things. And I guess I could just say to you that it's the most rewarding thing to do. And of course, you know, our little animals have auras, and you can read them. And it's very interesting the way auras differentiate between different life forms. The human life form has a multitude of complex colours and lights running through their aura, whereas a little animal, your pet dog or cat, has a much more simple aspect of the aura, much more innocent, if you like. But yeah, so I hope that you enjoyed our chat, and I decided to sort of sit here. I'm sort of trying to sort of work it out where everybody is, and so I'll say good night to you. I hope that you found it interesting, and the little exercises that I told you about, they're easy to do, and you will actually get to see auras around things, and I can teach you at a future date how to actually read from that and give people readings. So there you are. So it was lovely to speak to you this evening. I wish you a very good night, or a good day, or a good morning, depending on which part of the world you're sitting at the moment. So I can usually see a white aura around people, or a clear like the heat off a radiator. Yeah, it's something I'd like to develop and practice. Oh, right, thank you. Yes, well, if you just do, you know, they're very simple exercises that I've given, and it will actually help you. And white, of course, is 7 colours. It's all the colours of the rainbow mixed. Now, you'd think that would come out something like brown mud, but it doesn't. If you put the colours of the rainbow on a wheel and spin it, which is basically what we're all doing, they become white. So that white, I think with a bit of practice, you'll be able to see that in the different colours of the rainbow, which is the different colours of the spectrum that we can see. So I would suggest that, yes, I'm asking my friends upstairs, of course, which is what I always do, that if you practice these little simple things that I've mentioned tonight, that will actually be helpful to you, because you'll start to see colour with that. So, but as I say, to see aura at all is wonderful, because that's the energy that is exuded from life forms. But what the next step, of course, is to actually be able to decipher what that means in terms of how people are feeling. And somebody who is very adept. Oh, good morning, Althea. Good morning to you, Cobber, I think is the word for that. Yes, lovely to be in touch like this. Where was I? Oh, yes, the aura, of course. I think that the most important thing is to be able to look at all the colours and read them, and get a good idea of how people are feeling. And you can actually, if you're adept, that's right, sorry, they've reminded me. If you're adept at this, you can actually read somebody's past in their aura. You can see their past history. You can see how they feel at the moment. You can see things going on in their lives at the moment. And of course, if you're very clever, you can make an educated guess about what might happen to them in the future, because of that hodgepodge of auric colour and energy that you've seen that was in their past, how they are now, what they may well go forward to do in the future. But I'm not a great fan of telling people what's in their future. Unless people upstairs, somebody I know, tells me something about someone, I will not tell them anything. But, of course, we can all make an educated guess about how somebody might be in the future from what they've done in the past and how they are now. And that is what an aura can tell you about somebody when you get adept at that. And, of course, spirit itself speaks to us through our aura. And this is where sometimes people get confused between psychic work and spirit work. Because, of course, the auric energy field is very much to do with here, but it is linked to our spirit body, which is like a multicoloured bubble, so it reflects our aura. So it's easy to get that mixed up, and a little bit of study actually helps that. Althea, I hope that ha-ha is because I called you Cobber and you weren't offended. And, oh, Claire, I thought you were going to bed. That was the last post I saw. You very, very, very good wishes, all of us watching here, for your operation tomorrow. And we'll be praying for you, for your healing as well. And Andrew, I watched you, I think it was this morning. It seems a long time ago now. And that was very, very interesting, the work that you do. Jane, you missed the first part of this live video. I will watch it as finished. I've always wanted to see. Well, all I did, I just gave a couple of fairly simple exercises that you'd like to, try for yourself, because it does work. It's like everything else. You have to rehearse things. You have to practice. You can't just do everything all at once, and you have to have a bit of patience with this kind of work. Even to and especially really to develop your psychic abilities. And Althea, not offended in the least. Oh, that's good. Good on you. Or good on ya. Yeah, have to get that right. So, if anybody else has got anything. Oh, and Hylin, just thinking of you, and here you are. Oh, well, that's very spooky, isn't it? Yes, well, I shall be, before I go to sleep tonight, please God, I shall be praying for you, Claire, and getting our friends in spirit who know all about medical problems and situations, and I'll get somebody to guide your surgeon's hand, and it'll all be fine. You're in bed trying to fall asleep. Well, trying to fall asleep never gets there, you have to sort of, just drift drift away in your mind. Don't concentrate. That's the worst thing you can do, I think, don't you, all of you? Try and get to sleep. It never seems to work. But when you don't want to sleep, that's when you go to sleep. So, anybody else want to anything? Annie, hello to you. I'm just very grateful that this telephone of mine, they don't call them telephones anymore, do they? Oh, silly me. This mobile phone of mine that I'm using to do this is actually holding out in terms of battery life and whatever. But there you are. So, I don't know if you want to know anything more about auras. I mean, in the old days, I would have whipped out a sheet of paper and some pastels and knocked you up an aura and talked about it. And of course, there are people out there, and I can see clairvoyantly, have got auras, of course. And if I was being really nosy, I could have a look, like for Diana Hanks, I'd have a look at her aura. You'd love it, wouldn't you? But I could say that there was lots of blue and pink hovering around you, Diana. And blue, of course, is for healing and restfulness, and the pink is for love. And I know that there's a lot of love around you and a lot of healing going on. So there you are, Diana. So that's a quick one, isn't it? Diana. Well, I gave you some pinks and blues, and I know there's a lot of activity around you, and there's lots of energy. Which is really good, because you're going to need some of that, aren't you, with all the skating that you're getting to do, lucky thing, and the skiing that you have to do to get to your skating. So all those things are all around you, Diana. It's all around all of us. What we do, our activities in life, even our sorrows and our sadnesses, they all show in our aura as different colours. There you are. And the colours are actually light, because we really are beings of light. We are children of light. Now, Laura Lee, can I see your aura? Do you know what? I didn't come on here to do aura rings. I'm telling people how to do it for themselves. But I'll have a look, Laura. Hang on. Wow, I can see a lot of learning around you. I can see that you are always looking for more. You're never satisfied with how much you know. You know far more than you let on. That's what I can see. And I can't see whether you're saying yes or no or whatever, because it's a sort of a rolling thing on my little phone. I can only see a couple of people at a time. It was, what I saw was mostly a lovely green colour, and that is always, to me, that represents learning, and there's lovely shades of it too. So that's really lovely, and there's plenty for you more to do. Even if you think that you've finished with whatever it was you were looking into, you haven't finished with that. There you are. And Lulu, can you please see my aura? Well, you know, they're all working overtime upstairs, because, you know, although I am psychic, you have to be really and truly, all I do is mediuming. So I'm a lazy psychic. I just think, well, yeah, okay. I get my look, but then I say, well, all right, tell me about this person. Lululemon. Wow. You have lots of activity in your aura. So goodness knows what you're getting up to or thinking about doing. It all looks very interesting. It's quite good fun, you see, when you can read auras, when you can see and read them. You get to know all sorts of things about people that they probably would rather you didn't know, because along with all the things that you can talk about, there are things obviously you can't. But I do see lots of activity, Lulu. Oh, and I'm sure that... Oh, Andrew, reading aura is important development. Yes, it is. Yes, I agree with you that the development of mediumship requires aura readings. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And you know, like I said, like people are saying they'd love to say, oh, Bernadette, one of my circle members. Wow, Bernadette, bless you. And I think we would have done auras in our circle, I'm sure. I do auras, you know, in all the circles I've ever taken, and there's been a few. But the lady who wanted me to speak about her aura, I just saw an amazing amount of swirling activity. So there's lots going on. Now, where are you, Laura Lee? I'm learning lots on my spiritual path. Yes, yes, yes. Well, that bears that out then, doesn't it? That's really good. I love being right. I would have given up. Do you know that I'd have given up years ago if anybody had ever said no to me, to be honest. But you know, that's just one of those things that you just get on with. So, Bernadette, I hope you're well. I'm supposed to tell you, aren't I? And of course, I know all about your aura. It's very beautiful. And of course, I also get to hear that, wow, I hear a name being given to me of Nathan. And I need to say that to you. I've no idea. I remember that there was some loss in your life a long, long time ago. But I just heard that name from being called from over here, so I give that to you. Wow, so back on the old auras then, you'll notice that I'm wearing black. Now, if you don't want anybody to find out anything about you, wear black. And you will stymie them. It'll be really hard. They'd have to really be a good medium to get through that, or a good psychic, a really good psychic. In fact, I'm not sure that somebody who was only psychic would be able to get through a mass of black if you turned up wearing that for a reading. So I suppose in one way you might do that. Have I got any? Not sure if you need to see me. No, I don't need to see you. I can't see anybody, I don't think. This is a little phone, which is a bit ancient, and I can't see anybody. Apart from that, I'm terribly short-sighted, apart from any other sort of sight. And I just see little blobs, and I see little bits of white writing and thumbs up, so thank you. And Leslie Phillips, obviously you'd like to see something. Have you got any? Have you got any? What? An aura? Everybody has an aura. Now, you have not been listening to my talk. Everyone has an aura. And Leslie, you've got a very, very spiritual colour in your aura, which is like a sort of a purpley colour, and violet. Wow. So you have got a very spiritual aspect to yourself that is really quite uppermost. So it may be, unfortunately, that you may have suffered some bereavements, and this has made you more sensitive to spiritual matters. But there you are. That's what I see. Lots of purple and violet for you. Somebody's laughing. Well, that's cool. Right. Claire. A quick aura for you. Ah. Claire. Lots of healing. I do truly see loads and loads of blue and silver as well. The silver is a very special thing. If we see these metallic colours in somebody's aura really shining, everything is really going to be all right. There you are. It's like a little badge of courage for you, and you've got you've got a little cross there. Just keep holding on to that. You'll be fine. Okay. So I say good night to you, Claire, and you have a good rest, and may the angels be with you. Now, Amy Horner, if I get a chance, could I see yours? Well, this is the chance, isn't it? Wow. Well, you've got lots of things going on, because there's lots of colours with you. Amy. And I can see from the colours that are there that you have trod many different little pathways in your time, and yes, there will be 2 or 3 different possibilities for you as you walk your pathway. There you are. So that's what I saw. Andrew, got to Dashlin. Yeah, I don't blame you. Keep on, good work. I'm going to go off soon myself, I think, as the yes. Thank you, Andrew, and God bless you. And night, Claire. Nikki Stenson, all those hearts. Thank you so much. I just do what I can, tell people what I get, and hope really that everybody has enjoyed the talk and will be practicing their viewing of auras. And I'll come back on and do some more similar stuff to this. And I hope that you've had a good evening. Lulu, thanks. I'm planning doing activities. Yes, very true. Lots going on. Yeah. Does that mean my aura a certain colour? How can I change my energy? Well, what I always think is, what I do, I can only advise what I would do. And I pray a lot, and that's no joke. And every night before I go to bed, and so I'd say to you, before you go to bed, and when you wake up in the morning, just say that, how you feel. Thank God for your life, and sort of put any problems to those who care for us in the world of spirit, and demotivated. Well, I think sometimes we can overload ourselves with activities, okay, and worry about it too much, and you are putting yourself a bit through the ringer. There you are. I can see that by all that that was going on with you in your aura, and I think that you're a little bit tangled up, and it's like putting too much stuff in a washing machine. It won't go so well. So take some of the stuff out. Just shed a little bit of that. Adam, hi Adam. Good skating to you. I'm waiting for that 4 below for a few days. And I've got friends all over the world praying for that with me, for us. Nikki, you're doing a very intricate drawing in the chakra collars. Oh, wonderful, yeah. Yeah, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Yes. Okay, well, guys, I think I've done a few aura readings as well as given a talk on auras, and I've told people how to exercise so that they may see auras too. I talked about how complicated our human auras are compared to our animals. I can't think that anybody else... Oh, Diana, have they forecast your -4 yet? Well, I've got Adam Giles on here who's looking, and he's a very, very keen skater. I've known him since he was a kid, and he used to race against one of my sons, and I'm friends of his dad, and Alex too. Okay, Alex. What we're hoping, of course, is for Alex Winfield has the makings of a very good bandy player, by the way, here. And we're hoping that when we get a freeze, we'll have bandy matches too. As we've got the sticks and the balls and the socks and the goalkeeper's gloves, and we just have to get on with that. But, this spiritual pathway is one that I came into because I'm a skater and because of the ice, and it brought me in. Hey, Alex, yeah, nice one. And so my spirituality is very much bound up with my skating life, and the cleanness of that is a wonderful thing. It's just marvellous. Lulu, God bless you too. And No, I have hope. I have hope that we'll get -4 for a few days. I'm waiting for that. And then we'll all be able to go out there and have a good skate. So, and as I always say, sports people pray a lot anyway. We're always praying for something. Win a game, manage to do the laps, win a race, do well, all those things. And it does bring you closer to the Almighty, really. So, aura readings notwithstanding, as I said, if you don't want anybody to read you, wear black. I just happen to be wearing black tonight. But if you look around me, you can see lots of colour, and you can even draw on that to see somebody's aura. It often reflects. Well, that's another thing. So I'll say good night, good morning, and good day to everyone. And thank you so much for tuning in. I just feel so blessed to have so many friends and with the similar interests from whatever area we actually know each other from, whether it's from speed skating, from playing bandy, from playing ice hockey, for athletics, in journalism, in authorship, and in spirituality, all the different kinds. And hi, Paul. It's lovely to see you. And I believe you have a book out, which I should plug. It's called, I believe, Man of Spirit. Paul Jacobs, he's a really good medium, someone I've known for many years, and highly recommend. There you go. You don't mind, Paul, if I recommend you. But we were all friends in a spiritual movement, the spiritualist movement, and although we all do our own thing, some of our friendships go a lot deeper than just on the surface. So there you are. So God bless you, Paul, and I hope that your book does very, very well for you. You deserve that. And on that note, I guess I will do some live chats again on auras and psychic self-defense. I thought I'd better do it on a video, that one, because I wasn't sure whether this phone would hold up on a sort of lengthy discourse. But anyway, I hope you find the psychic self-defense interesting as well, because there's no use pretending that nasty spirit doesn't exist, because we all know that where there's light, there's dark, where there's good, there's bad. And we really mustn't bury our heads in the sand over that one. We must know that we have got some rather nasty forces at work in this world at the moment. You've only got to look around and look at the news to know that. And we need to combat that with the light, because that's what we're called. The other name for us, light workers. There you are. And especially with colour workers. And we're all of that. So there you are. So I'll say God bless you. And, may I direct you to our new Christian Spiritualist Society Facebook page. And there you will see me warbling on, doing the introduction. But we do put various things on that you might find interesting. And, of course, we've got lots of meetings that go on, and ministers and people who try and spread the word of spiritualism, who happen to be Christian as well. Although, of course, we welcome everyone from every culture and creed. We have no intolerance at all, and we don't tolerate intolerance. So I'll say good night to you, and God bless. Nikki Stenson, good night to you and to everybody, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.